I am Andrea Levine O'Rourke. I am a Boca Raton City Council member, and I would tell you to stay tuned for Art Adventures of the Palm Beaches.
We're here with Ellie Vale, Rock Urban, the Warehouse District in Boca Raton, and we're really excited to see some fantastic jewelry, one of a kind. Hey, how are you?
Hi, good. Thanks for popping in.
Yes, I really want to start where the most important thing here is the jewelry, which I'm obsessed with. And I have to say I'm really impressed with the press that you have gotten on your jewelry line. I mean, Harper's Bazaar, Oprah Magazine, Cosmopolitan, you have celebrities wearing your jewelry. I know you have a backstory of being a celebrity stylist.
Yeah, so that was one of my first jobs in retail, but actually none of that really contributed in terms of like the magazines. It wasn't like, oh, I had friends and all these magazines that, hooked it up for me. That just kind of played into my creative aspect of transferring into designing from being in fashion my whole life. So yeah, no, I styled some celebrities at at Saks Palm Beach, and they have an exclusive part of their store where they have like a lot of celebrities coming in all the time on the island. So that's what I did. I worked with a few celebrities almost weekly.
Wow.
So yeah, but I ended up transferring to an office job because I wasn't able to have my weekends working retail. So I was fed up with that, and I decided to do something creative and took a jewelry making class, and kind of just happened.
I think it's really cool with your jewelry. It's hypoallergenic, water resistant, and it has really nice, bold styles. What made you decide to go with this kind of look?
I mean, I think it mixes like classic pieces with on-trend pieces. And for me personally, I have days where I'm in jeans and a tee and super classic.
Yeah.
And then I also have days where I'm like every single trend is on my body.
Okay.
So I wanted to kind of combine that so I can offer, if somebody's wanting something that's on trend right now, they can have that. But at the end of the day, if they wanted just something simple, they were also able to choose that as well.
And being that you are located here in Boca Raton, what made you decide to have a shop and a workspace here in the Warehouse District?
Well, finding office space here is hard. I really like the concept of being able to come into my own space and leave. I usually work in my pajamas or sweatpants.
Perfectly fine.
So going into an office environment where you're sharing a ton of space, going into an elevator, I got my dogs, I got my sweatpants on, I got my flip-flops, I'm looking like a mess. This is perfect. And I feel like we have our own kind of privacy, and I'm also around a bunch of other creative people. So it makes sense to be in like a nice community of people doing the same thing.
We are here at the Flamingo house with artist Ben. I'm here at his studio, and we're going to learn a little bit about what he does.
So right now I'm working on what I just call heavily textured art. I've been working a lot with texture obviously lately, and I just had an idea of doing something for some odd reason to kind of resemble like Nintendo games. Something simple, basic.
Nostalgic.
Because minimalism too is kind of a thing now where very calming and basic, I guess, I don't know. So that's what I'm doing here.
So how did you end up here in Boca at the Flamingo house to have your studio?
So I was doing live painting at a local farmer's market, and Amber, who runs the Flamingo house here, she started explaining the vision about creating this kind of arts district in this spot and just bringing that artistic warehouse feel to Boca.
I would really love to know more about how Bay 38 really got started and how you established a vintage home decor here in Boca Raton.
Well, I've always been a lover of vintage shopping since I was a teenager. And when I moved here, I became very frustrated with things that were being thrown out. People here are a little more transient, and sometimes they would throw away good furniture because maybe a new tenant was moving into an apartment. So I started picking things up and refurbishing them, got more into upholstery and lacquer, and then eventually had to get more space, so I started a warehouse, and the number on top was Bay 38. For the most part, everything in here is vintage that has been refurbished in some way. My slogan is rejuvenating forlorn furniture with love. So I do upholstery, lacquer, milk painting. Sometimes I just have to clean up a beautiful mid-century teak piece. I just have to put some oil on it and freshen it up to give it a new life. This area specifically is so special because you're surrounded by other artists. So rather than being surrounded by carpenters or auto guys or something of that nature, we have artists here. So it's a feeling of community. These are particular to South Florida. This is called Russell Woodard web-spun fiberglass. They were usually manufactured in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. They're extremely lightweight, and the design is just so mid-century and I don't know, just a wonderful abstract kind of piece of artwork on their own. So what I like to do is to paint them usually in bright colors.
Yeah.
So I'll do hot pink or turquoise and then give it a little pop with some funky upholstery.